Right now, Jeff, it's time to welcome our next guest, Sam McElroy, Chief Executive Officer of Stride Financial in Chicago. And as you know, Sam is an income specialist with our very own retirement income store and has years of experience in helping clients really plan for the exact same types of things we're talking about today. So Sam, it's great to have you back here on The Income Generation.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So Sam, in your experience, do most of your clients understand the importance of having a comprehensive estate plan?
You know, the thing is, Jeff, I would say most of them don't. There's a widely held misperception that only the mega wealthy really need to have an estate plan. And I think that's because people don't understand what happens when you don't have one. And in a lot of instances, people spend a lifetime accumulating this wealth. And if things go according to plan, they should have a considerable amount left over by the time they're out of this world. So you have to have a thorough idea of how you're going to, easily transition that to your loved ones or nonprofits or wherever you want those funds to go.
So personally, Sam, as an advisor, I've seen a lot of really sad stories resulting from someone not having any planning. How about you?
Yeah, I got to tell you, I have seen situations where people have accidentally disinherited part of their family. I've seen situations where they handcuffed the money to a degree that the very people they were trying to benefit couldn't get out of the institutional trustees. I've seen so many different issues where poor estate planning has negated the benefits they were trying to create in the first place, that it almost would have been better if they didn't do it, just to start with. So you have to be really intentional and thorough in your methodology and how you construct it.
So getting your estate plan done correctly is really about not leaving a mess, is what it sounds like you're describing.
Yeah, it's really about protecting the very loved ones that you're trying to benefit. But a thorough estate plan isn't just about where the money goes after you die. There's a lot of things that you need just to take care of you while you're living as well. I remember one story where, because a couple failed to have a power of attorney document for finance, there was a situation where one of them actually needed to have some additional medical work done, and they couldn't get the equity out of their house, which was one of their largest assets. So there's a lot of things that kind of go into it, both to protect you while you're living, as well as making sure that there's no arguments or contention or fighting once you're gone.
And isn't it true, Sam, that oftentimes the fighting is more about non-financial assets? It's about personal assets that have sentimental value more than financial value?
That is 100% true. It's usually the things that people fight over more so than the money itself. I remember one situation in particular, and this was a family that had some really old heirlooms, some rifles that went back to the Revolutionary War and other things like that. It was a long military family. And after the death of the grandparents that had a lot of these things, there were 4 brothers and sisters, and they basically descended on the house. They all rifled through all the things that were there. And to this day—
No pun intended, right?
Right, no pun intended, exactly. But to this day, they don't really speak to each other the way that they used to. I mean, you had a trajectory for generations to come materially altered because of infighting over things.
Well, I just learned something from you today, Sam. I never knew that at some point in history you were allowed to own a rifle in Illinois. That's news to me. Sam, it's been great having you on the show as usual. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
And coming up, we're going to be talking more about how to get your estate planning rolling and how to coordinate it with your retirement income plan, along with our special guest, David Wright. I'm David Scranton. This is The Income Generation, and we'll be right back.